Betrayal has an uncanny ability to strip away the layers people hide behind. When everything seems perfect, it's easy to maintain a facade. But when trust is broken, the true character of a person is laid bare. It's like a sudden storm that tears away the comfortable facade, leaving behind the raw, unfiltered truth. You see, when everything is smooth and easy, people can pretend to be something they're not. They can wear masks, play roles, and keep their true intentions hidden. But betrayal exposes those intentions in the most brutal and honest way. It's not just about the actions of the person who betrayed you, it's also about how they justify their actions, how they rationalize their behavior when confronted. That's when you truly see the values that drive them, or the lack of them. They may try to shift blame, they may pretend they didn't mean it, but in the end, their true nature is revealed. Betrayal isn't always about the loss of trust. It's about gaining clarity on the type of person you're dealing with. It reveals not just their character, but their integrity, their level of empathy, and their respect for others. It exposes their weaknesses, their fears, and sometimes their selfishness. What makes betrayal so powerful is that it forces a mirror up to the other person's soul. It brings to the surface everything they've been hiding, either consciously or unconsciously, and forces them to face themselves. And here's the truth. Betrayal doesn't just reveal the character of the person who betrays you, it also exposes your own. How you react to betrayal, how you handle it, what it drives you to do. These are all mirrors showing you something about yourself. Through betrayal, you learn who someone really is. But more importantly, you learn who you are in that moment. You see your boundaries, your limits, your willingness to forgive or not. You see what you're willing to tolerate and how much you value yourself. This process isn't just about the other person, it's about you too. It's a turning point in your journey where you have to decide whether you're going to let that betrayal shape you or strengthen you. Betrayal is often disguised as a painful experience that we wish we could avoid, but in reality it serves as one of the most powerful wake-up calls in life. When we face betrayal, it jolts us from the complacency of our routine and forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew about ourselves and the world around us. It's a wake-up call that shakes us out of a false sense of security and challenges our perceptions of people, trust, and even our own choices. It's a moment where the universe in all its complexity tries to get our attention and say, there is something here you need to see. In many ways, betrayal is not just about what's been taken away from us, but what it reveals we were overlooking. Think about it. How often have we ignored the warning signs? How many red flags did we dismiss or rationalize? Betrayal doesn't just occur out of nowhere. It happens when we are either blind or unwilling to face the reality of a situation. It's a reminder that our intuition is always speaking to us and we need to listen. Betrayal shakes the foundation of our comfort zones, pushing us to confront what we've been avoiding, whether it's unhealthy relationships, poor boundaries, or simply not valuing ourselves enough. This wake-up call also challenges our beliefs about trust. We often place our trust in people or situations based on how we want them to be, rather than seeing them for what they truly are. When someone betrays us, we realize that trust must be earned and maintained, and it's not something we should give away blindly. Betrayal opens our eyes to the importance of discernment and how crucial it is to invest our trust in the right people, those who demonstrate consistent actions, integrity, and respect. It forces us to stop relying on assumptions and to start creating deeper awareness about who we allow into our lives. The wake-up call doesn't stop at others. It forces us to look inward as well. It forces us to question why we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable in certain ways. And it brings to light areas of our own lives where we need to grow. Sometimes betrayal reveals a lack of self-respect or a tendency to overextend ourselves for the sake of others. It reminds us that the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important one of all. How well do we know our own worth? How often do we compromise our values or ignore our own needs in favor of others? Betrayal is a harsh teacher, but it has the potential to push us toward a higher understanding of ourselves and what we truly need in our relationships and in our lives. Betrayal also helps us gain clarity on what we truly want moving forward. It forces us to ask ourselves, what lessons can we extract from this experience? It becomes an opportunity to break free from old patterns and start fresh with a newfound sense of awareness and purpose. Through the pain of betrayal, we often find the path to true growth. It provides the necessary discomfort to help us shed the old skin and emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the person we are meant to become. So while betrayal may initially feel like a setback, it is, in fact, a powerful tool for transformation. A wake-up call we may not have chosen, but one that pushes us toward becoming the best version of ourselves. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn in life is the concept of ownership over your response. When betrayal strikes, when life throws obstacles your way, and when things don't go as planned, you have a choice. The people around you might be responsible for their actions, but you are responsible for how you respond to them. This is a critical realization because it places the power back in your hands rather than allowing you to feel like a victim to circumstances or the actions of others. Too often we let our emotions dictate how we react to situations. When betrayed, it's easy to let anger, disappointment, or even shame take over. These emotions are natural, and it's important to feel them, but the key is not to let them control your actions or your mindset. When we allow our emotions to dictate how we respond, we lose control of our narrative. We begin to define ourselves by the betrayal, by the hurt, and by the circumstances, rather than by how we choose to rise above them. But true strength lies in the ability to control our responses, not in the ability to control others. In any situation, particularly one involving betrayal, we have the power to choose how we react. Do we let it consume us, leaving us bitter and broken? Or do we take ownership of our response and use the experience as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient? This is where the true empowerment lies, not in the actions of the person who betrayed you, but in your ability to decide what happens next. You can decide whether this experience will define you or refine you. Owning your response means acknowledging the emotions that come with betrayal, but not allowing them to control your future. It means giving yourself permission to feel hurt, but not staying in that hurt. It means using betrayal as a tool for self-discovery to examine your values, your boundaries, and your beliefs about trust. Ownership of your response means understanding that while you cannot change the past, you have the power to shape your future. You can choose to remain stuck in anger or resentment, or you can choose to heal, learn, and move forward with greater clarity. Taking ownership of your response also requires you to look at your role in the situation. While betrayal is never justified, there are often things we can learn about ourselves in the process. Were there warning signs we ignored? Did we fail to set clear boundaries? Did we place too much trust in the wrong person? Owning your response means taking full accountability for your part in the situation, not as a form of self-blame, but as a way to understand what went wrong and how you can avoid it in the future. This level of self-awareness empowers you to make better decisions moving forward, ensuring that you don't repeat the same mistakes. And when you take ownership of your response, you also release the need for validation or approval from others. Betrayal often comes with feelings of rejection or abandonment, and it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from the people who hurt you. But when you own your response, you stop waiting for apologies or for people to make things right. You take responsibility for your emotional well-being, knowing that your happiness and peace of mind are not dependent on the actions of others. You realize that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, and you decide to no longer give your power away to someone who doesn't deserve it. Finally, ownership of your response is about growth. It's about refusing to allow betrayal to keep you in a state of paralysis. Yes, betrayal can leave scars, but those scars can also be a reminder of how far you've come and how much stronger you become. Every experience, no matter how painful, has the potential to teach us something valuable. Taking ownership of your response means using the pain of betrayal as a catalyst for your personal transformation. You decide how this moment will define you. Will it break you, or will it build you into the best version of yourself? The choice is always yours, and pain is often perceived as something to be avoided at all costs. We do everything in our power to steer clear of it, seeking comfort and relief wherever we can find it. But in reality, pain is not something to fear or resist. Pain is one of the most powerful tools for transformation. It's through pain that we experience the greatest shifts in our lives, and it is often in our deepest struggles that we uncover our greatest potential. The purpose of pain is not to break us, but to reshape us into something stronger, wiser, and more capable of navigating the challenges that lie ahead. At its core, pain is a messenger. It signals that something in our lives needs to change, that we are out of alignment with who we are meant to be, or that we are holding on to things that no longer serve us. Whether it's physical, emotional, or psychological, pain forces us to confront aspects of ourselves, our situations, or our relationships that we would rather ignore. It brings awareness to the parts of our lives that are in need of attention, healing, and growth. Without pain, we might remain in a state of complacency, blind to the areas of our lives that need transformation. Think about how many times you've grown stronger after overcoming a difficult situation. Whether it was a loss, a betrayal, or a personal failure, pain often has a way of forcing us to dig deeper into our reserves of strength. It reveals to us what we are truly capable of, pushing us beyond the limits we once thought were insurmountable. Pain challenges our resilience, and as we rise above it, we discover new layers of our character that we never knew existed. It's in these moments of pain that we often find our true purpose, as we begin to reevaluate what really matters to us and what we are willing to fight for. Pain also strips away the illusions we hold about ourselves and the world around us. It forces us to face the truth no matter how uncomfortable that truth may be. When things are easy, it's easy to live in denial, to pretend that everything is perfect, and to avoid confronting the parts of ourselves that need attention. But pain doesn't allow us to hide. It calls us to take an honest look at our lives, at our choices, and at the people we surround ourselves with. It strips away the protective layers we've built around ourselves and reveals the raw truth. And that truth is what allows us to make the necessary changes that lead to our transformation. In the process of transformation, pain serves as the catalyst for growth. It is the fire that refines us, burning away the old, outdated parts of ourselves that no longer serve us. Think about the process of refining gold. The gold must be heated to extreme temperatures, causing impurities to rise to the surface so they can be removed. Only after this intense heat is the gold left pure, ready to be shaped into something valuable. Our transformation follows a similar path. Pain burns away our weaknesses, fears, and limiting beliefs, leaving us with the strength and clarity to move forward in a more purposeful direction. Pain also teaches us the importance of self-compassion and healing. When we experience pain, it's easy to turn inward and become angry or frustrated with ourselves. We may blame ourselves for the situation, feel guilty for not having seen it coming, or wonder why we had to go through such a difficult experience. But pain, when approached with the right mindset, can teach us to be kinder to ourselves. It reminds us that we are human, that we are allowed to make mistakes, and that healing is a process. It encourages us to show ourselves the same love and care that we would show to someone else who is suffering. This self-compassion is a key part of the transformation process, as it allows us to rebuild and emerge from pain with a stronger, more compassionate heart. Through pain, we also learn the value of resilience. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or bouncing back immediately after a setback. It's about accepting pain as a part of life and learning to move through it with grace, patience, and strength. Resilience is built in the moments when everything feels like it's falling apart, and yet we keep going. It's about refusing to let pain define us or keep us stuck. Instead, we allow pain to refine us, knowing that each painful experience is a lesson that will ultimately make us stronger and more capable of handling future challenges. The purpose of pain and transformation is not to break us, but to remake us. It is the fire that tempers us, the weight that strengthens us, and the challenge that pushes us to rise above our current limitations. Pain has the power to reveal our deepest truths, uncover our greatest strengths, and lead us to a life that is more aligned with our purpose. Embracing pain as a tool for growth rather than something to be avoided is one of the most powerful shifts we can make in our lives. When we learn to accept and understand the purpose of pain, we unlock the full potential for transformation and create a life that is rich with meaning, purpose, and strength. In conclusion, betrayal, pain, and transformation are intricately linked in our journey toward growth. Betrayal reveals truths about others and ourselves, serving as a wake-up call to reassess our values and boundaries. Pain, though often feared, is an essential catalyst for transformation, pushing us beyond our limits and encouraging deep self-reflection. By taking ownership of our responses, we regain control over our narrative, turning adversity into opportunity. Ultimately, the trials we face aren't meant to break us, but to refine us, building resilience, clarity, and strength as we evolve into our truest, most powerful selves.